Welcome to Series 4 and number 6. And this one's all about blessings over and above. Matthew 5 and verses 6 and 7 says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy." A great passage. And when we think about it, it actually sets us up to think about what this whole concept of blessing each other is about. And what do we think about when we hear this statement? Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Just think about that. Do we hunger and thirst for righteousness? What does it mean actually to hunger and thirst for righteousness? It seems like a bit of a weird statement. It's not how we would put things probably these days. Well, I don't know about you, but I've been hungry at different times. When it has been said to me too that I also need to not panic about trying to find food because I specifically think about things like chocolate. One time when I was on a long bike ride, I ran out of water 30 k's from home. And there were no shops around, and I got that thirsty that I jumped the fence of an orchard and ate a couple of oranges that I grabbed off a tree. I popped them in my pocket, and the worst part was that it wasn't the thirst that I kind of needed to have because everything got sticky, and it was the most uncomfortable 30 k's. I've never really been starving or totally without water or food. So I don't fully understand what it would be like to be totally without. And thankfully for most of us in Australia, that is our usual state. We at least have enough to survive on. The imagery here is about people who literally were starving and without water. How do they react? They search for food and they search for water. They try to find satisfaction for their hunger and thirst. The idea is that people are starving for righteousness and thirsting for righteousness. Now, we don't think that way, do we? They are wanting the right stuff to happen. I watch A-League football and English Premier League football, soccer to those who are uneducated. And while I was a player, I could accept bad refereeing decisions, okay. After I finished playing, I refereed for a while. And ever since, I cannot handle bad refereeing. I am super critical of referees. Marianne hates me watching a game with me, as I nitpick about every little thing the referee does. In a small way, I want everything to be fair. I want the referee to do the right thing, so the players have a fair game. But it often isn't. But I long for it. And it's the same with a lot of life. In the Baptist Association of Churches, we have organisations that try to facilitate fairness. An ethics department, a Baptist World Aid, community service, a Baptist emergency care, all those sort of things. Why? Because we care about things. These are all about trying to make things right for people. Make it right for people who are badly treated, marginalised, ignored or persecuted. What happens when you know Jesus is that you get a bit of what he's about. And he is about helping people, he is about caring for people, and he is about advocating for people. So Christians, including our Baptist denomination, in fact our own church, try to facilitate things. We do. We do the Baptist World Aid gift shop every November, December, and it's up the back of the church at the moment. We do Operation Christmas Child. We do missionary giving, etc. Why? Because we have a heart to correct the injustice of poverty. Notice what it says is that they need to be filled. In other words, caring for others satisfies us. We will feel satisfied when we help others out, when we help the sick, when we do the right thing for those who are in need. There is a yearning in us as Christians to do the right thing and help people in those situations. It's weird. Yeah, I know, it's absolutely weird, but that's how God wants us to be. We are designed to be that way. The second verse there carries that thought process forward. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. We will be divinely favoured, if you want to put it that way, if we show mercy. And God will bless us if we show mercy to other people. And actually the verse says that we are to show mercy like God shows us mercy. And when we think of God's mercy towards us, that is enormous. So what is mercy all about? Mercy is a very broad term that refers to benevolence and forgiveness and kindness in a sort of ethical, religious sort of context. In some ways, mercy is extending God's grace. That's a good way to put it. Grace is explained in many ways, one being the old acrostic situation, God's riches at Christ's expense. So what we are to do is extend that, and we are to give what God has to other people. What a great way of looking at it. And Christmas is such a good time for it, so it's coming up soon. It's about getting something that we don't deserve, and we give stuff to people in mercy that they don't deserve. Whereas mercy is showing that grace by giving, forgiving, and being kind. So what we have here is a template for showing mercy. We are to become merciful people. And if we do, there is a divine favour. God blesses us. Those who are merciful, God will be merciful to. In other words, God blesses us in amazing ways. This is an amazing situation. And as we come up to the time of Christmas when things can be very, very stressful for people, let's start to show God's mercy. Bless you.